To her, it was containment. That night, long after his footsteps faded down the hall and his breathing evened into sleep, Evelyn stood alone in the small room he called storage. To him, it was junk. Old boxes, out-of-season clothes, a file cabinet he never opened. To her, it was containment. She moved a stack of photo albums, unlocked the bottom drawer, and pulled out a slim, matte laptop, hers, never shared, no stickers. No brand new shine, just a practiced kind of anonymity. Inside the drawer was also a plain folder, labeled only with a date from 18 months earlier and a code name, Project Northbridge. No company logo, no flashy branding. Just a thick non-disclosure agreement and the sparse notes she allowed herself to keep at home. She powered on the laptop. The screen glowed softly in the dark as she passed through two-factor authentication and a hardware key Daniel didn't even know existed. Merger dashboard status. 92% complete. Two logos appeared side by side. On the left, the holding group that had hired her as a confidential advisor. On the right, the blue and steel emblem she saw on Daniel's work badge every morning. Helix Freight and Manufacturing. Evelyn exhaled. Not in panic, not in relief, in control. When the holding group had retained her, she had disclosed everything. Her marriage, Daniel's employer, his title, his lack of decision-making authority at the levels that mattered for this deal. The board had documented her conflict of interest statement. Her role was limited to structure, value, and risk, not to individual employment outcomes or compensation tables. She was ring-fenced away from anything that touched Daniel personally. On paper, there was no conflict. In her kitchen, he had just made it intimate. She checked the latest notes, regulatory clearances, revised valuations, board meeting dates. The final integration briefing was locked in. She closed the laptop and stood in the stillness, listening to the muffled sound of Daniel turning in his sleep down the hall. Soon, she would say very little in a room that mattered far more than this kitchen. And the room where Daniel felt safest at work would no longer have a chair with his name on it.